Alright, so what's good, guys? Welcome back to this channel. I'm actually going to be showing you how to read through, the fundamental analysis when it comes to forex market. Of course, using the, forexfactory.com. So pretty much this is what it looks like. As you can see right here, getting through to today's date, as at the time this video was being made. Now, this in this pane, this is where you are able to select the period in which you want to um, see the news that will be, upcoming news or whatsoever. So you are able to click through on this date, and then you are able to select the period. So as you can see, you have 22nd highlighted here, January 2026, as at the time this video is being made. So I want to make use of 26th of January. So let's see what the upcoming news is going to be. So I have to now click on apply settings, and as you can see right here, these are the news that has already happened. you know as you can see right here, we had 5 a.m. news. This is talking about German Buba president. Nigga speaks, as you can see right here. So another thing I want to also let you know is when it comes to the forex factory, as you can see right there, to be able to analyze news compared with in relations to the pair, you must be able to understand how to you know get filter, infiltrate through the system, and of course filter those news that are that are highly volatile. So when I mean news that are highly, I mean news that has adverse impact, on the forex market. So that's what it means. And to be able to do that, if you look at your right hand part, you see filter. So I'll be clicking right there, and as you can see, I have different currency pairs, as you can see right here. But let me quickly explain something here. Now you are having a red folder here where you have expected impact of the news in the forex market depending on the pair. Now we have, when you see a red folder, this means that the impact of this news is likely going to be volatile. So the impact of this news on the forex market is going to be very, it will be something that would um, impact the market, um, you know, with so much pressure. So what this therefore means is that, for example, you take a trade that is going on a specified direction, and the news comes out and it is not in favor with the direction in which you took your trade, then the retracement from that particular direction in which you took your trade is actually going to be um, is going to be an adverse effect to your trade. So what that therefore means is that particular impact is going to even break through your stop loss. So these are things that we try to explain to people, when we create videos like this, so you get to understand what it means. Now the next one is the I call this the amber folder. Now what this means is that the impact of this news on the forex market is not going to be, that um, is not going to lead to adverse displacement of price actions. So these are a couple of things you need to know. It's not going to lead to adverse displacement of price action. So it's quite within the mean value for the price action. So what is therefore means that if you took a trade, most often than not, the impact of this news might not necessarily break through your stop loss if you have if your stop loss is maybe you took a trade, or you place a trade that is within the threshold of uh say plus or minus, you know 1:5, 1:4, 1:2, or whatever your take profit is, twice or thrice, whatever it is your stop loss is. And maybe you don't have a large uh stop loss figure. So well, stop loss value in this case. So what that therefore means in this case is that for you, this particular amber you're seeing right here, the impact of this on the forex market is not compared to when the folder is red, or news that are affiliated to a red folder like this. Are we together now? Now the next one is this, you might want to call it a gold or a yellow whatsoever folder. Now the impression of this is highly minimal in the forex market. And then the last one, which is this gray, means these are holidays. These are the period in which banks are holidays for these currency pairs and all of that. So We're actually going to be I'm going to be showing us how to filtrate filter all of these folders in with regards to the upcoming news, and let's see what it's going to look like. Now the reason why we do this is for us to know those news that are going to be highly volatile, that is going to be displacing the market without mercy, so that we can be able to cover our trade waiting for the news events to happen first, and then we take up and we observe the market and react to the market before by placing our trade. So that's pretty much what this is actually going to be doing here for us. So in doing this, I'm going to be skipping all of this. I'm going to be offing all of these check boxes, as you can see right here, and I'm going to be leaving just um, the one with the larger impact. And I'm also not going to be making use of too many currency pair. Let's just make use of let's make use of let's see what the USD, let's see what dollar is doing. You could choose a couple of pairs, or let's just see dollar and GBP. I think that's one nice. So we're doing this for this week, and then you click up you on infiltrate, filter through the system, and let's see what. So as you can see right here, today is Monday 26th as the time this video is made, and as you can see, there's no news, no upcoming news that we are anticipating. Are we together now? So if let me pick let me pick Friday, which was 23rd January 2026, and let's see what is happening now. If I should click on it now, you could see from what I choose now, GPP has where retail news will be coming up, and retail news actually um, was for 7:28 a.m. on the 23rd of 26, so 23rd 2026. So as you can see right here, 1 p.m. 1 a.m. that was when this news came out, as you can see, and the impact of the news was on this percent 0.4%. Now we also have 0 point, as you can see right now. Let me quickly explain the forecast, actual, and the previous. Now when we talk about focus, because every news, upcoming news, definitely is going to be having your focus, and it's going to be leaving you with the previous. So you are not left to decide, or not really decide, you are not left to wait to see what the actual is going to look like. Now take for example, if we have a forecast of 52.9%. Focus is what you are anticipating the news, what the system is actually anticipating the news to the value to be. Now we also have the previous. Now this previous is actually telling us the value of the news previously. So with these two values, you should be able to now predict what the next value is. Is the news going to shoot beyond the previous value by virtue of your forecast, or is the news going to reduce? And most of the cases, a lot of people make this mistake because they tend to pay attention to the actual, saying um, by means of prediction that the actual is going to be bigger than the forecast or than the previous. Yes, in most of the cases it is, but in most of the cases also it is not. And that's why I will always advise you, when you, especially for a large, for volatility kind of market, in with reaction to the news, you have to wait for the actual first, as you can see. So now from the actual, you can also give your own forecast, so it will help you to know what your trading is going to look like for that period of time. So let's take example here. We are seeing for this is for USD. We're talking about flash manufacturing PMI news. Now this PMI news, we're anticipating 51.9 as the focus. Now the previous also was 51.8. So we now when the news um um as at this point we're anticipating the news to come out. So when the news came out, it had to hit the same 51.9, which is actually a good one. So in this means that there will be a spike towards even your direction. And another thing I want to say about trading is that when whatever you're doing, when it comes to fundamental analysis, placing your trade during the news era, it is much advised that you do that when the news is not out, or sorry, you do that after the news. The reason why you need to do all of this is so that, because if you don't do this, you will be gambling with your account, because you don't know the direction. You might know the direction of the market by your technical analysis, but fundamental analysis, when fundamental analysis comes out, it might end up playing against your technical analysis, but notwithstanding it, it's still going to hit through your technical analysis. But then you might be out of the market because take for example, you are trading with a lower fund account. You don't have, your account is a low, size account. Now that account might not really have the substantial amount to be able to sustain that news without hitting your, stop loss. Are we together? Because definitely, if it goes through the direction of your stop loss and it doesn't hit your stop loss, it will definitely still push to the direction in which you anticipated based on your technical analysis. So these are things you need to know. If you don't get that right, then you might end up blowing all up your account. And then if you want to trade with news fundamental analysis, then you have to have a larger account size. Are we together now? So the next thing here is this. As you can see, this spike would be very much. Why? Because we're anticipating 51.7 in our forecast, and the previous was actually 51, and then the actual now became 54. So you should be expecting a sharp displacement here in the forex market in this particular pair GPP. You'll be having a sharp displacement here. So the same thing with this and the same thing with this. So I'll need you to take your time, go through all of this figure as you can see right here, and for so you could get acquainted with how these things behave based on your PPI news and PMI news, flash services and all of that, retail news and the rest of that. Now that is that for this. Now if I also said something, we can still go back and happen to, let's look for those who are those news that are highly volatile and the ones that has a minimal impact in the market. So if we do this now, which I'm clicking on this gold, which is I take as an amber color folder. So I go ahead and place, now you can see we have WEF news, WEF news. As you can see, this annual meeting and the rest of them. We also have uh, reserved UOM, consumer sentiment. Now you can see what happened here. This is also a spike on this. It's also a spike. Now the displacement of price action on this is going to be something you don't want to toy with your hard-earned money. So that's why we usually advise that you relax first and wait for the news to be out. Then from there you can place your analysis, and of course through the help of a technical analysis you'll be able to come out of that trade profitably. So I believe this has been able to help you. If you have one or two questions to ask, do well to leave it in the comment section, because we'll be attending to all questions, and then helping out by creating videos that is going to also solve that problem for millions of people. Don't forget, if you're tuning in for the first time, hit the subscribe button to turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever it is we drop on the video. I'll see you in the next one.